大家好，欢迎大家回到台湾国际教育高峰会台湾 International Education Summit 的下半场。希望刚刚呢，经过1个小时的时间，大家有充分的午休。或许呢，你也刚刚趁着这1个小时的时间，跟你的家人、小孩聊了一聊上午听到的这些内容。今天上午呢，主办单位非常用心的安排了 Rachel、Jennifer 还有 CJ 一起来让大家了解一下未来会是一个什么样子的样貌。例如，我们要如何增加小孩的数据感，让小孩迎向元宇宙，或者是呢，让小孩更清楚未来的世界可能有很多区块链的基础结构所构成。那我也相信很多爸爸妈妈听到这边可能会觉得说，哇，未来非常的不一样，或者是未来有很多的不确定性。那接下来呢，就应该会很好奇说，好，那身为家长或身为老师，我该怎么办？所以我们的主办单位非常的用心，在今天下午呢，我们的标题就是未来怎么学，我们的大标是未来学嘛，所以先跟大家讲一下未来是什么样子，然后下午再告诉大家未来怎么学。所以我们下午呢，安排了非常多的教育专家，会从不同的面向来跟我们分享一下他们在做的一些教育创新。所以下午场的主题呢，就是女力创新未来。那现在呢，就让我来一一介绍我们今天下午为大家准备的这些丰富的内容。第一位呢，是 Galileo 伽利略创新学习平台的国际新创专家 Kelly Dojos， 他很有趣哦，他昨天才离开检疫旅馆，然后现在在居家检疫，所以等一下会用视讯的方法来跟我们聊一聊他们如何做这样子的一个创新平台，在全世界30几个国家里面有300多个学生，然后从8岁教到18岁。等一下我们就来听听。那接下来第2位呢，也会是视讯参与的瑞典教育观察作家吴媛媛，他会让我们知道怎么从台湾看到瑞典的性别教育。性别教育也是我认为接下来几年呢非常非常重要的一个课题，因为我觉得性别教育呢其实就是自主教育，也是在学习人我界限和尊重，所以这个部分我非常的期待。好，那第3场呢，则是由语白群学实验教育计划主持人郑婉琪来跟我们谈一谈未来要怎么学，数位时代下个人独特发展的方式与学习的方式。然后第4场呢，则是人工智慧科技基金会的执行长温怡玲要来跟我们谈一谈 AI 与人的下一步。所以今天下午的内容都非常非常的丰富，而我们的第1位讲者 Kelly Davis 已经在线上等候咯。Hi Kelly.
Hi Renee.
Yeah, I think you're ready. So now I'm giving you the floor.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And as Renee said, my name is Kelly Davis, and I'm here to share about Galileo. I'll get started with. I've been teaching around Asia for over 10 years, and I have really experienced and had my eyes open to a variety of education methods with a very global perspective. Galileo started in the fall of 2019, so for over 2 years, we continue to grow around the world. We currently have 300 students in over 30 countries. And today's presentation will be explaining the future of education and how Galileo prepares students for the future. And at the end, I welcome you to bring any questions or discussion topics that you would like to have. So please feel free to share your questions.
大家好，我的名字是Kelly Davis。那我自己的创业旅程呢，是从一个教育家的角度开始的。我已经在台湾耕耘了7年，那而且呢，过去10年都在亚洲教学。在过去这10年之内呢，有非常多不同的教育方式，让我大开眼界，也让我获得了一个国际观。Galileo 伽利略是在2019年的秋天成立的，在过去这2年多来呢，我们持续的成长，目前在全世界30多个国家里面已经拥有了300个学生。那今天的简报呢，会介绍一下教育的未来，以及伽利略 Galileo 如何让学生替未来做好准备。那最后呢，我也很期待可以跟大家互动，欢迎大家提问。OK。
The first global school, self-directed school for forward-thinking families. So at Galileo, we help to unlock real skills, get personalized mentorship, and collaborate with students from around the world. There is world-class online education, to empower students online and also in real life. And we serve students that are ages 8 to 18 years old.
伽利略就是希望可以建立一个国际的学校，真正跨足世界的一个学校。所以我们在做的事情呢，就是解锁真实的技能，并且给学生因人制宜的导生制度。而且呢，我们会和全世界的学生一起来协作，提供世界级的线上教育，让学生在网络上面就能够获得真实世界里面所需要的实力。而我们的学生呢，则是从8到18岁都有。OK。
So on today's topic about the future of education, I would like to start here with an introduction, talking about what does the future look like. The traditional schools are trying to tackle today's problems using yesterday's concepts and last decade's tools. We say that Galileo is the opposite of this cookie cutter education from last decade's tools and yesterday's concepts. We have a new way of education, the power of lifelong learning, and how self-directed and personalized learning can be designed to help your child or your student thrive in our fast-changing global future. We can uncover what schools can teach them, and this evolves into a passion for lifelong learning. We want the students to find the joy of learning and to love their experience. So we focus on collaboration versus teaching. It's not a top-down approach. We don't have students afraid of the teacher. We call them facilitators or coaches, and this is where we focus on that collaboration. And we can also talk about intrinsic motivation, how the students are inspired versus focused or forced learning. So our main assumption is that self-directed learning can be for every learner and create a lifestyle for the family and the students of freedom and choice for what they want to learn and how they want to learn.
今天的主题呢是未来学。那在思考未来要怎么学的时候呢，我们必须要先解决几件事情。首先，传统的学校呢是试图用昨天的概念以及前10年的工具来解决今天我们所面对到的问题。那 Galileo 呢，伽利略所提供的这种教育方式，刚好呢就和这种切饼干的方法不一样。所谓切饼干的方式呢，就是你拿一个饼干的模型在面团上面压，每压出来一个饼干是什么形状，那这块面团它就被塑形了。那伽利略并不是用这种方式在进行教育的，我们的教育方法非常的新。首先呢，我们是以人为本，而且我们会根据每一个学生的特性因人制宜来制定他们的学习方法。那这些设计呢，都是为了要让孩子可以在快速变迁的全球未来里面好好的稳扎稳打。所以呢，我们也希望让他们学到一些过去传统学校没有办法教他们的东西，让他们可以建立终身学习的热情。而且我们希望他们在学习的过程当中可以感受得到乐趣，而且爱上学习的体验。所以 Galileo 伽利略强调的呢是教练式的辅导，所以我们并不把自己称为老师，而是让学生觉得我们是教练或者是辅导员。那所以呢，我们希望学生不要害怕老师，而学生可以自己引导自己的学习历程，所以并不是由我们来提供教材或者是素材。那我们也希望所有的学习呢，都是根据他们自己的灵感，根据他们的启发，是因为他们想要学习、想要探索，而并不是被强迫或者是被塞了这些知识。所以我们的主要的假设就是，所有的学习都可以由学生来自己主导，而且我们呢可以创造出自由有选择的人生。Right.
So one of the most important skills for the future is to be a global citizen, just like you and I are, Renee, having this conversation in English and Chinese. And typically learners will wait for university, where universities often attract this diversity to give them access to this perspective. We know that diversity can enable students to learn faster and get inspired by others, see a different perspective through eyes of a different culture. So the adaptability to cultures can actually accelerate the learning process. That's why universities are so important for this concept, but we don't need to wait until that. We can start that now with the power of the internet. And that's what the future is going to look like more and more. So Students are joining social learning experiences on a daily basis, and they find these collaborative and like-minded friends and peers from across the world. Our student recently said, one student from Taiwan, she said, I can travel around the world every day without ever having to leave Taiwan. I can do it from my own home. And I think that this is a really powerful experience for students to enjoy their global learning from an online perspective. We also have a lot of emphasis on learning languages and how this can help global citizens in that cultural exchange, because one day they will meet in person if they want to.
好，那我们认为呢，未来最重要的一项技巧就是要成为国际公民。所以就像 Kelly 还有我一样，我们可以自由的用英文和中文来交谈。过去呢，像这样子的学习经验，都会要等到大学的时候才有机会，有这样子的体验，所以过去大学在招生的时候也是主打着多元与视角，但是我们现在呢，并不需要让孩子等到大学才能够有这样子的体验了。那多元可以让孩子学得更快，而且呢，可以从别人身上获得启发，看到不一样的视角。所以我们现在有了网际网络之后，马上就可以为孩子提供这样子的学习体验和环境，再也不用等到大学生。那学生只要每一天上网，然后参加国际学校，他就可以获得社交型的学习经验。在这样子的学习环境之下呢，他们学会的是如何协作，如何团队合作，而且他们可以和全世界有志一同的人一起来交朋友。我有一个学生，在台湾的学生，他就跟我讲说：“哇哦，我现在呢不必出国，我在家里也可以每天环游世界了。”所以我觉得像这么强大的体验呢，真的能够帮助小朋友乐在学习，而且是乐在国际学习。在这个过程当中，我们会强调语言非常重要，因为有语言能力，你才能成为国际公民，然后才能跟别人交换意见。
So to begin explain what Galileo looks like in a day-to-day experience, I will highlight some of the day-in-the-life experiences because there is a large variety of learning experiences. The students will typically begin their day with a social learning experience. These are shared spaces where they can discover a lot of new topics in what we call Agora rooms. We also have academic power hour where the students can work on any subject of their choice or math and coding every day. We also have student showcase where students can present and showcase their learning in a presentation every Friday. And we also have daily Minecraft education. Monday to Friday, students can play and learn through Minecraft education. In the afternoon, there are often skill-based offerings. We have boot camps, clubs, and studios. A boot camp will happen for 1 or 2 months where the students will learn a specific skill. A club will happen week to week and continue on where they can use those skills from boot camps and be motivated and inspired by like-minded peers. And a studio is a real-life job experience. So they will create magazines, they will create small businesses, and even films together. So Galileo will also focus on the academics, meta-learning, and prepare students for the future creator economies. So students also have a large library of on-demand nano courses. You can think of this as the Netflix of learning. So when any live experience is not happening, they usually have 8 to 10 hours of available offerings every day, but they can also go into the on-demand nanos where they can choose at their own time whenever they want to continue their learning.
好，那要让大家了解到伽利略是如何来提供教育的呢？那我们最好是先从学生每天都在做什么来解释。那早上一到学校的时候呢，我们会有一个社交学习的体验。在这个社交学习的体验里面呢，我们有个共享的空间，然后让大家可以以团队的方式一起来协作。那接下来呢，则是会有 Academic Power Hour， 就是这是一个学科的时间。在这个部分呢，他们可以自选他们有兴趣的学科，可能是数学，或者是学写程式， 式。那再来呢，我们还有一个 Student Showcase， 就是让大家可以发表自己的意见，可以做简报来跟大家讲讲他们想要分享的一些事情。所以每个礼拜五有一个学生做简报的时间，让大家可以来交换意见。那另外呢，也有很多人开始用 Minecraft 来学习，所以这些都是我们所提供的上午的活动。到下午的时候呢，我们会安排各式各样不同体验型的课程，比如说 Bootcamp 战斗营。战斗营的意思呢，是指他们会花1到2个月时间去学一样技能。那在这个2个月的过程当中，经过了密集的训练来取得这项技能。那再来还有 Clubs， 就是社团。社团呢，则是可以每一周的聚会，也有很多同学他们上完了 Bootcamps 战斗营之后，就把他们学到的这些技能放在他们的社团里面来做结合。再来呢，还有 Studios， 比较接近工作坊的方式。在这个 Studio 的地方，我们会建议他们去做一点类似真实职场或者是真实世界里面会做的事情，譬如说他们可以自己办杂志，他们可以自己拍电影，或者是呢，他们可以自行创业经营一个小的生意。那再来呢，就是我们除了这些学科类型的教育之外，我们也很重视未来的创作者经济。那为了要让大家能够衔接或者是走上创作者经济，我们也可以根据学生的需求提供一些奈米课程。什么是奈米课程呢？大家可以想象成是线上课程影视版的 Netflix。所以就是如果大家有需要某一项技巧或是某一项知识，而现在在目前的课纲里面或教材里面还没有看到的话，那他可以到我们的奈米课程讲堂里面去，根据自己的需求来选择，在8到10个小时之内完成一套线上课程。
So I will give you some examples of some of our offerings. Talking first about technology, some of the most popular experiences that we've had have been robotics, game development in virtual reality, science with coding. If we move into entrepreneurship, this is a very important part of Galileo as well, where students can start your own business. They can start their own merchandise studio in a real-life small startup experience, and even a teen leadership intensive program where they learn through chess. Focusing on the arts, we have programs such as Google Chrome Music Lab, Introduction to Photoshop and Animation, filmmaking, where students can make a documentary. And then in the most important, of course, academics and meta learning. So we have anthropology, how to budget money, and how to speak with confidence. So we think that it's very important to focus on all of these pillars, and they're also continuously integrated with each other.
好，那我们在这边呢，可以让大家看一下我们开了哪一些课程。首先呢，我把它分成4类。第一类是科技类，科技类通常是人气最高、最多学生一起选修的，包括了机器人、游戏开发、虚拟实境，还有利用程式来认识科学。那再来呢，第2类很重要，就是创业类型的课程。在这个部分呢，大家可以练习如何创立自己的事业，或者是如何利用我们的工作坊来开发自己的商品，然后呢，实际上真的在现实世界里面做一个小生意。除此之外呢，我们还有青少年的密集领袖能力班，所以这些呢都是属于在我们创业类型的课程里。那艺术类型的部分呢，我们也都是尽量的让学生利用一些高科技或者是未来的工具，例如说 Google Chrome 的音乐实验室，或者是呢我们也有开 Photoshop 的入门班，教大家如何做影片和动画。那还或者是呢也会有一堂课叫做制片，如何制作纪录片。那再来第4类，我相信所有人都觉得很重要的，就是学科与基础知识的学习。这里面呢可能包括了像是考古学如何制定预算，或者是如何有自信的说话等等。
So some people might be wondering, how do they do all of these things together? And the building of community, in addition to hybrid learning, are the next 2 things I will explain. For community, we believe steady friendships are very important, even in the times of change. So many of Galileo forward-thinking families are often on the move. You may have heard of homeschooling. We also have world schooling and unschooling. So building community and meeting in person creates a very well-rounded experience for this global community. Students can meet friends in different cultures and new ones in our virtual spaces. And then eventually they can meet in real life at in-person dojos. What is a dojo, you might be wondering? Local dojos are a hybrid education model that give your family the choice. Where and when do you want to build a project or build your future home base? Our in-person learning centers are all over the world, and your child can have a self-paced learning online or on the road if you are constantly traveling. So it's a program that will fit your family's rhythm. We currently have 8 local dojos that are open. They're in Mexico, Florida, Texas, Romania, Portugal, Spain, and Italy.
好的，那接下来呢，大家可能就会很纳闷啦，学科这么多，到底是怎么办到的呢？所以在这个部分呢，我们就要去强调社群的重要性。在这张投影片里面呢，我会跟大家介绍的就是社群，因为有了社群，所以大家可以打造出稳定的友谊，即便是在一个非常动荡的时代里面。那 Galileo的很多家长或是很多家庭，其实他们也是不断在移动的。大家可能听过 homeschooling， 就是以家为校、自学的意思。那除此之外呢，还有 world schooling， 以世界为校，或是 unschooling， 就是不上学校。那像这些做法呢，其实都有很多的家长在遵循，那所以他们呢就很自然的进到了我们的社群里面。那我们让学生和家长可以在线上打造出社群，他们也有机会可以在全世界我们的全球社群里面呢建立面对面之间的体验。所以我们的学生有可能呢会碰到类似文化背景的其他学生和家长，也可能会在我们的虚拟空间里面认识一些新朋友，或是他们在现实生活里面真的安排一个面对面的接触。除此之外，我们还有8个不同在地的 Dojos。那大家可能会问啦，什么是 Dojo 呢？就是 Dojo 它是一个复合式的教育模型，让学生的家庭可以选择你想要在哪里来进行学习，或是你想要在哪里成家。所以呢，我们有一个实体的学习中心，让孩子可以打造或者是建立他自己的学习节奏。那他们呢，因为是线上学习，所以他不管是在一个城市定居，或者是在迁移的当中，都不会影响到学习的进度。简单来说，它就是一个符合家庭节奏和韵律的学习方式。那我们目前这8个据点分别是设在墨西哥、美国佛罗里达、美国德州、罗马尼亚，另外葡萄牙有2个，还有西班牙和意大利各1个。
So we understand that it's not just important for students to have community, but parents also need community. And we saw this from the very beginning. We want to help parents and help them build community with inspiration and support. This self-directed learning can be made easier, and this community is free for anyone to join. You can get advice, share your experiences or your worries, and make connections with like-minded parents from around the world, and hopefully get the answers that you've been looking for if you're curious about self-directed learning. So honoring a child's curiosity and adopting self-directed learning can definitely be an adjustment, and that's why we built this village to help you with that community. In addition to this online community, we also have inspired events that happen on Clubhouse. There are 3 to 4 events per week. This is our lineup from the past week. And you can join these active discussions. It's an interactive conversation, and share your questions with experts that we are inviting and we are inspired to learn from as well.
好，那所以我们打一开始的时候呢，就发现社群对学生很重要之外，对家长也非常的重要。所以我们的求学，在伽利略的求学体验一开始的时候，我们就会为家长和学生打造出这个以启发和支持为中心的社群。大家可以在这里呢，因为社群的凝聚力，而让自我主导的学习变得更简单。除此之外呢，参加这个社群是完全免费的，大家可以来这边互相交换意见，或者是 听听别人有哪些的建议，那或者是呢，有时候家长不免是有一些很烦恼的时候，他也可以上去听听别人的心得，或者是上去找答案。所以这样子一来呢，全世界只要是想法比较接近的这些家长呢，就可以自由的沟通。那在这个过程当中，我们就是希望让家长可以尊重孩子的好奇心，并且接受孩子可以主导他们的教育历程与教育的节奏。这也就是为什么我们打造了这个村子，让大家呢可以来培养下一代主导自己学习能力的这些小孩。那除了这些线上课程之外，我们也有很多不同的活动。目前的安排呢是一周有3到4场，大家可以根据自己的主题来挑选。每一场活动里面呢，我们也都邀请了不同主题的专家来跟大家分享。
Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to care about the future. I will leave you as the audience with this final question and this statement to let you know that the future, or our future, is in the hands of our young leaders. Are you ready to help them be prepared with the skills and the adaptability that we must face in our lives and what the future brings, or what we don't know what the future brings? So thank you so much, and please feel free to ask any questions at this time.
好，那非常谢谢大家参与我的简报。那我们也很希望透过这个机会让大家知道，我们的未来其实是握在这些年轻领袖的手中，所以我们必须要给他一些技能，让他可以面对未来。更重要的是呢，让他有适应力，因为未来很可能是我们都不知道的，未来充满了未知。所以接下来呢，如果大家有任何的问题，都非常欢迎用这个时间来跟我交流。谢谢大家。That was really great. So give me 1 minute so I can go back to the backdrop, and then we'll have some more interactive. We'll have more interaction. Great.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Well, I have one question. So you have 8 dojos. Have you ever thought about creating one in Taiwan? And also, personally, I'm not sure if you want to take this, but personally, I'm just a little bit curious why you choose to base in Taiwan. What attracts you here?
Yeah, a great question. So the first one is, yes, we definitely plan to start a dojo, whether or not it's a full 5-day experience or just a small boot camp. We can run our on-demand boot camps here for a pop-up event, and we hope to do one in Taipei in January. And the second question is, I was already in Taiwan when I was experiencing many types of education, and I wanted to leave the international school system and try something new. So I was exploring the world of online education, and that's when I met my co-founder, and that's how we started Galileo. He is a parent and I am an educator, and we were trying to solve our problem together.
的问题呢，就是他提到了他们有8个 Dojos 嘛，8个在地的实体的教育中心。那刚刚讲到了有墨西哥啊，有佛罗里达，有德州，有罗马尼亚，还有葡萄牙、西班牙，可是就没有听到台湾。所以我刚刚问他问题就是，他们有没有考虑在台湾弄一个 Dojo？ 那除此之外，还有一个比较个人的问题，就是他为什么会选择定居在台湾这样？那 Kelly 刚刚的回复呢，就是确实他们也有考虑在台湾办一个 Dojo， 那可能是一个战斗营或者是一个快闪活动的方式。目前的规划呢是明年的1月在台北会有相关的活动，所以大家有兴趣的话，也不要忘记去追踪 Galileo。那再来就是问到说为什么他会定居在台湾嘛？那其实是他还没有接触到 Galileo 的时候就已经来到台湾了。那他是因为在台湾认识了 Galileo 的共同创办人，那共同创办人是一位家长，而他是从事教育工作的，所以他们就决定把这一套国际创新的教育方式，直接在台湾开始扩散了出来。Great, Kelly, thank you so much for your time.
I hope you such a great experience.
Yeah. On behalf of Girls in Tech Taiwan, I really hope that we can contribute to creating your local dojo experience. So we'll talk more.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Look forward
Great.
to it.
Have a nice weekend
Be in
then.
touch. Thank you.
All right. 好的，那我们非常谢谢 Kelly Davis 刚刚呢从他在居家自主健康管理的环境里面来跟我们连线，而且也很高兴跟大家一起尝试了这个逐步翻译的方法，所以大家确实是可以看得出来，未来教育的方式呢已经跟过去很不一样了。我非常喜欢 Kelly 刚刚讲到一个，就是传统的学校呢其实是在用10年前的工具、昨天的观念来解决今天的问题。